Welcome children. We were discussing lesson number 10, force, work and energy. In the previous session, we discussed about levers. Yes, we have discussed about levers in detail. So what are levers children? Yes, levers are the example of simple machine. Now we are going to study or discuss in detail about other simple machines. Now the next one that we are going to discuss is inclined plane. Now we saw already that what is an inclined plane, right? See children, this is an inclined plane. Lower at one end and elevated on another end. When a wooden plank or a metal plank, means a piece of wood or metal, is placed in such a way that it is at lower level on one end and on another end it is on higher level or it is elevated, that is called as an inclined plane. And how does it work? It helps us to move the objects from lower level to higher level or from higher level to lower level with less efforts. Now you must have seen the inclined planes in various places in your day-to-day life, right? Now we are going to discuss in detail about inclined planes. An inclined plane is a slope that helps us to move a load between two levels with less effort. Now for example, you have to load heavy load or furniture in the back of your truck or in the rear part of your truck. Then what do? Yes, an inclined plane. A wooden plank is placed in an elevated way like this, which touches on one end it touches the ground, on another end it touches the truck. So that makes it an inclined plane, a simple machine. And by doing that we can move the heavy loads from the truck to the ground or from the ground to the truck. Now in the hospitals you must have seen inclined planes. The patients are carried on a wheelchair through the inclined planes or by the use of inclined planes. And the less the slope of an inclined plane, if the slope is too high, then it will not be easier to climb it, right? But the less the slope, the less effort will be needed to move the things from lower level to higher level. Now with the help of an inclined plane or a wooden plank, what we have discussed, yes, we can move the heavy loads from the ground to the rear or the back side of the truck. Now winding mountain road is also inclined plane. Now children, you must have seen mountains, right? The mountains are very high. Now if you have to climb the mountain steep like this, if you have to climb, it won't be possible for any car, truck or your bike to climb it, right? And have you seen the roads which are there on the mountains? What kind of road are they? Yes, they move round and round like this. So what is that? Yes, that is inclined plane only. That winding, that curves in the roads help us to move or to climb to the top of the road, right? So have you understood what are inclined planes? Let us see the picture. See here children, the inclined plane, with the help of the inclined plane, how the things can be carried from one level to the another. This is again the picture of a nurse carrying a patient. Now see, like this, if you have to carry the patient to another level, it will be difficult. By using an inclined plane, the patients can be easily carried to the other floor, right? Now as we discussed the steep road uphill, if you have to climb the road as shown in the left hand side picture, it will be very difficult. But with the help of the winding road shown on the right hand side, which is what? Yes, which is an inclined plane, It makes our work easier. In this way, inclined planes help us to do our work in a easier way. Now, next we are going to discuss about wedge. What is a wedge? A wedge is made of two inclined planes joined together to form a sharp edge. A knife, an axe and a chisel are examples of wedge. See the pictures, children. This is the wedge. If you can see, on one end it is very broad and it is getting sharper on another end. So we call this kind of things wedge, and the examples are axe, chisel, knife, etc. And why it is used? Yes, to cut various things. Now, screw. All of you must have seen screw in your life. See, this is a screw. Is it visible, children? See the top of the screw, there is a groove. And if you see screw here, you will see some thread-like things in this screw. And this thread, if you observe it properly, they are going upwards. So these threads are what? Yes, they are inclined planes. And where is the screw used? Where do we use this screw? Yes, to keep two wooden planks together, we use a screw. And what is required to tighten the screw? We use this screwdriver, right? This is a screwdriver which the end of the screwdriver fixes in this top, and with the help of it we can move easily. The screw is moved easily inside the wood, right, children? And do you know that putting a nail in the wood is difficult than putting a screw in the wood? Because of that grooves or thread that we saw, the screw penetrates easily, or it goes easily inside the wooden plank. And one more thing, the grip is also tighter. When you fix a screw inside two wooden planks, it makes the thing very tight. It cannot be removed easily. Now, the screw looks like a nail with grooves cut in it. As we saw that grooves, which were again, it has a winding edge called thread. Children, now you do one thing. You tell your parents to show the screw. When you have a look at it very properly, you will be able to understand how it looks, right? And you will be able to see the threads and also the top of the screw, which will help you understand how it is fixed in the wood. Now, less force is needed to insert a screw in wood than a nail, because of inclined edge. As we saw the threads, which were what? Which were again inclined edge. Inclined because of the grooves, the screw holds the wood more firmly than the nail. Now, screw jack used to lift car works on the same principle. You must have seen a jack, or all of you must be having a car. Then tell your parents to show you the jack. That jack also works on the same principle. Now, see, children, the first picture is of the screw showing the threads in it. And second is the principle of a screw. For that, this is an activity. You have to make a right angle triangle, and the longest edge that you see, you have to color it, and then you have to wrap it around a pencil, and it will be visible this way. Yes, it will look like a screw having inclined edges. Now, in the next picture, it is shown how to fix a screw in a wooden plank, and the picture at the bottom is of the jack and how this works. Okay. Now, next is a pulley. Children, you must have seen in the pictures at least somebody pulling water from the well, and that whole setup is known as a pulley. Now in a pulley there is a wheel with a groove in it, okay, and around the wheel there is a rope, and on one side of rope there is load, and on another side, as you can see, we apply efforts to bring that load up. Now pulley is also a kind of simple machine. It is used in various places in our day-to-day life. For example, the masons which work on the construction sites use this pulley to lift the bricks or other things from one level to another. Okay. Now pulley, a simple machine, consists of a grooved wheel with a rope passing around it. It is normally fixed to a support above the load. Can you see this picture? In this picture you can see that pulley is fixed on the wooden plank. Now pulley makes our work easier by changing the direction of force. A downward effort is used to lift the load up, right? When we put the effort in a downward direction, then the load will be pulled up. Pulleys are used to pull up water from the well. To hoist a flag, if you see, the flag is tied to a pulley, or to lift the bricks and cement by workers at construction sites. Now, next we are going to discuss about wheel and axle. Now understand children, a round object, something that looks like a round object, we call it a wheel. Exactly. And the next axle is a rod. When a wheel and a rod come together, they become or they form a simple machine which we call wheel and axle. Now this screwdriver, as this is round, can we call it wheel? And this is a rod. So screwdriver is an example of wheel and axle. Our doorknobs, the round portion of the doorknob, and inside that round portion is a rod. So our doorknobs are also the examples of wheel and axle. The potter's wheel, which is used to make pots, that wheel is a wheel, and to move that wheel, that potter uses a rod. So that is also an example of what? Yes, wheel and axle. In the trolleys and in various other machines like cars, trucks, etc., we can see the two wheels have one rod attached in between it. You can see it in the toy cars also. The two wheels are attached by a rod. So that is again wheel and axle. So this is found in so many places. Now a wheel and axle together make a simple machine. It can be used to lift a heavy load using less effort, which is seen in the carts, right? Or the trolleys which we carry in the supermarkets, on the airport. It is having two wheels and one rod in between. So that is again the example of what, children? Wheel and axle. Sewing machines has wheels in it to turn other parts. Trucks, cars and trains move on wheels. The wheels used in all these machines have a rod fixed in the center known as an axle. See this in this picture on the left hand side. We can see a trolley wherein we can see the wheels, and between the wheels the rod is attached. So this is an example of wheel and axle. Again, the screwdriver is also an example of wheel and axle. Now children, next thing that we are going to discuss is energy. Now you need energy to do everything, right? You need energy to run, to write, to do everything. Okay, so what is energy? See, when you feel low, you are not able to do anything. You say, I am feeling very low, I don't have energy. So what is energy, children? Yes, energy is the ability to do work. Now we have so many kind of energy. Light energy, heat energy, sound energy, electrical energy, mechanical energy, wind energy, water energy and solar energy and geothermal energy. Now children, light energy. Where do you get light from? The natural source of light energy is right, that is sun. And the other sources are sun, candle, tube light, electrical bulbs, etc. Now why do we require light energy? Can you see in dark? No. If a room is totally dark and you enter in the room, are you able to see anything? No, because we are able to see things only when light is reflected off that object and that reaches our eyes. So, light energy is required for seeing things. The next is heat energy. How do we produce heat? Yes, by burning things. Heat is produced by burning things like we have so many things which we call fuels. When burned, they give us energy, heat energy. And what are they? Petrol, diesel, coal and wood. When they are burned, they produce heat energy. But do you know children, when heat energy is produced in this way, a lot of smoke is produced. And what happens when lot of smoke is produced? Yes, it pollutes the air. So, heat energy which is produced by burning things pollutes the air. Now the next is sound energy. Do you know how is sound produced? Sound is produced by vibration. When something is struck, that produce vibrations, and that vibrations are converted into waves, and that waves reach our ear. Sound is generated when an object vibrates due to force applied to it. For example, when a drum is hit, sound is produced. Sound can travel through various mediums like air, like water, etc. Now, sound can be measured in decibels, and a sound which is of too much decibel or very high decibel is not good for our ears, and we call it noise. Now this is the picture. In this picture on the right hand side we can see how we can produce vibrations with the help of a rubber band. When you struck it, it vibrates. Okay. Now vibrating objects vibrate the air molecules, and that air molecules reach our ear. Now next is electrical energy or electricity. It is a form of energy resulting from a flow of electric charge. Okay, when electric charges flow, electricity is produced. Now electricity can also be produced by burning things, fuels like coal. It is produced in various ways like hydroelectricity, by solar panels, etc. But when electricity is generated in the thermal power stations, it produces lot of pollution. Lot of poisonous gases are produced. Okay. Electricity is used. We see electricity, the uses of electricity around us, right? For using all the electrical appliances, right from our electric bulbs, our fan, refrigerator, washing machine, everything runs on electricity. So it is used to run machines at home and factories. The next energy is mechanical energy. The energy that an object has because of its position or movement is called mechanical energy. For example, water that falls from high point has more energy than water that is at lower point. Now we will see in the next topic that how water that falls from a height is used to run turbines and used to generate electricity. Now, wind energy. Wind energy. See, what is wind, children? Yes, moving air is called wind. Now, it must be having some force, right? Because when we see the wind moving, we cannot see the wind moving, but we can see the big trees also sway very hard when the wind moves. So, it has force, right? We can use the force of a wind to do work for us. And what kind of work? Have you seen the windmills when traveling while going from one place to another? What does the wind do? Yes, the wind moves the blades of the windmill. What does it do? Which in turn can be used to generate electricity or to grind grains. In this way, wind energy can be used. But wind energy, when it is generated, it does not pollute the environment. It is environment friendly. Now the next is water energy, or we also call it hydro energy. The energy of flowing water. As we use the energy of flowing wind, we also use the energy of flowing water. And how is it used? It is used to turn the turbines to generate electricity. Both water energy and wind energy are environment friendly. They do not produce any harmful things that pollute the environment. Now in this picture, if you see on the left hand side, there is a picture of windmill. On the right hand side, there is a picture of water turbine. When water falls on these turbines, the turbines move and electricity is produced. Now next is solar energy. Children, solar energy, you know that sun is there, sunlight is present on the earth in abundance, means too much sunlight we get. Solar energy is produced when sunlight strikes solar panels, which then turn it into usable electricity, which is used to run machines. Solar cooker use sunlight to cook food. You must have seen or studied about solar cookers. In it, if you keep the food on your roof in sunlight, the food is cooked by solar energy. Now solar energy also does not pollute the environment. Next is geothermal energy. Now children, geo means related to earth, thermal means heat. So when some kind of heat that comes from the earth, we call it geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is obtained from the heat inside the earth. Hot springs, steam from inside the earth are used to generate electricity. This is again a non-polluting or environment-friendly source of energy. Children, this is a picture of solar panels. As we have discussed, when the sunlight falls on the solar panels, that is converted into electricity and which can be used in various places. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Sai Ram.